Well, hello, I'm Robin Lail, and I am the founder and managing partner of Lail Vineyards in Napa Valley, California.
Who is your wine hero?
Who was my wine hero? My wine hero, I think about that a lot, and it's a really easy answer. And it's like asking me who your favorites are. Who's your favorite? I never have one favorite. And in this instance, I have at least two wine heroes and several also rans. So my initial and most prominent wine hero is my father, John Daniel Jr., who was the owner and manager of Lail Vineyards, and an amazing Renaissance man who was so important in the wine industry and who made legendary wines. My other wine hero is Robert Gerald Mondavi of Robert Mondavi Winery fame. And I'm writing a book right now, and the wonderful thing is when you're writing a book that you have epiphanies. And I worked for Robert Mondavi for 5 years as his executive assistant. And I realized recently that he did not need me as an executive assistant, but as one of my dad's best friends and as my dad's protege. He thought it was really important to get me trained into the wine business, which had not happened earlier, and to get me going again, to pick up this 140 years of legacy that lies behind Lail Vineyards.
What has wine taught you?
Wine has taught me so many things, but most importantly, it kind of reminds me, it doesn't kind of, forget that. Wine is the essence for me personally of the quote that's often attributed to Henry Ford. And that is, whether you think you can or you can't, you're right. So wine has taught me how to follow my dreams over the rocks, over the bumps, through the gullies, through the impossible situations, just to keep going. And it has taught me so many things that it's hard to catalog all of them. But perseverance, perhaps, and the joy of cresting the hill is inexplicable, and the opportunity to follow a passion. You know, I wish for everyone in the world that they could follow a passion in their life, because it makes such a huge difference.
No fair making me cry this early in the morning. Let's shift the energy though a little bit to talk about a funny or embarrassing wine moment. You have to only pick one.
So let me tell you about an embarrassing wine moment that I had. When I was working at Robert Mondavi Winery, women were employed in public relations, secretarial work, and bookkeeping. And I had an invitation shortly after I went to work at Robert Mondavi to go to a very important tasting in San Francisco. And the important tasting was to sit down with Mama of the wonderful Mama's restaurant. And I was invited. Well, this was a big deal for me to be invited. So that the night before, I carefully laid out my clothes, which was a very nice little beige colored suit. And the next day came and we went to San Francisco. I was the only woman along for the ride. So we sat down at this lovely table in Mama's with 5 or 6 people from fellows, men, Robert Mondavi and Michael and Tim and Gary Ramona and so forth, at a table. And Mama brought out these glasses to taste the wine. The glasses were the size of fish bowls, and they were built like fish bowls. So they're very round and kind of open like that. Big, really big. So the wine was poured, and in order to indicate that I knew what to do with a glass of wine, I began swirling it in my glass. And then I made the dire mistake of picking it up and trying to smell it. Well, it was really motivating in this glass. And so it went straight up my nose. And you know, what goes up must come down. And it certainly did. It came down. But it came down not with a ladylike kind of dribble. It came down with this. Oh! So it wasn't too embarrassing, no. I got up and left the table and I went to the ladies' room. I was dire. I thought I'd never come out. I think I'll just lock myself in here and they'll never see me again. But I made the further mistake of trying to wash off this wine. Well, of course, I succeeded in making the most ugly tie-dye you have ever seen. You know, I don't really remember what happened after that, but I remember what happened.
So, what excites you most about the wine industry right now?
What excites me about the wine industry right now is that, as usual, it's in transition. And I should preface my comment by saying that the wine industry excites me all the time. The wine business is perfect for me, perfect because it's always in flux, it's always changing. So every growing season is different, every fermentation is different, the wines are of different quality each year. It's always all hands on deck, if that makes any sense. The market changes. You know, we don't like this year, we like that this year. I love this business. I apparently am mesmerized by challenge. And I think that our business at large, the wine business, is extremely challenged. And I like that. I'm a little odd that way. So I like the idea that it is not ever business as usual. And so today we see ourselves going into a period where there is a great focus and fascination on the whole millennial generation and how to imbue them with excitement and pleasure that can be derived from a glass of wine, much more so than they are today. There is the issue of the retiring boomer generation, which takes out a very important level of the market for ultra luxury wines like ours. I'm excited by the fact that the wine business, that in the wine industry, farmers and wineries, we make wine for our generations to come. So we farm for our grandchildren. What could be more important than that right now? So we are open to the fact and have been pursuing the issue of being more and more and more environmentally friendly, and what could be more important right at the moment. So I love that we're on that path, and I love that I don't exactly know what's going to happen, because I believe we almost create it as we go along.